Welcome to another part of Fug 2 GBA. This time we're going to arcade mode because we are going to go through every single arcade challenge in this version of the game. With only me, because I can only play as me. You'll find out why later on. But right now, we're going through, going for all the score stuff, the combos, the skate letters, which are right over here of the S, the combo letters, which are right over here of the C. They can flip the big dig gap. Some of these do have their own gap requirements. Not spinning all the bullshit, Fonsker tape, that's about it. The repeaters are the scores, the combos, the skate letters, the combo letters, oh, by the way, we gotta get our stats back up. That's a rather shitty one, honestly. The very fact that this fucking game decides, hey, you know those stats of yours that you got in story mode? Fuck you. We're not even gonna give you the stat points around here. We're not gonna let you get a stat point collection going up. You're just gonna have to do the same challenges again to get your stat points up. Which, not a fucking fan of, because they waste more time than just doing this shit with the goals. I'd rather have the stat points. Anyway, here's the thing about the repeaters. Also, the very fact I'm going to do the thing where I show the full run first, and then I just skip to me jump cutting. I did before Fug 2. The repeaters, the usual, the scores, the combo scores, the combo letters, the skate letters, the tape. Also, the nada spinning. We're gonna be nada spinning everything again in this entire arcade thing. Everything's getting nada spins. The only different goal in each one is what gap you have to get. And even that is repeated because it's a gap goal. So, yeah, not really any goals here that are unique to themselves. Just pretty much in the same category. The same exact category every fucking time. But the only difference is the increase in score and the location of everything, and the gaps themselves, and the fucking nada spin locations. That's about it. The goals themselves act pretty much the exact same. Now, of course, there's gonna be moments, there's gonna be a lot of moments actually, pretty much every time. It's gonna be you doing a specific trick over to the gap. That's gonna be it. Oh, and it gets worse here. You can't skip this. You could skip this shit. Oh, by the way, here are the stats. See, the spin's fixed again, so I will show off me actually doing the spin correctly. Unlike I couldn't do back in story. But here's the funny thing. I can't skip this. I have to sit back and watch this. Every other GBA version of this shit, you could skip. You can't in Fug 2 GBA. You have to sit there and wait for it to do all this shit and save the data and such, and then you can restart from there. I mean, you can pause and restart, but the way this works out, it's just gonna be really fucking dumb on even unlocking the next level. Every level requires you to get at least 6 goals on the level completed. Every one of them. So unfortunately, this does mean that I do have to go ahead, oh hey, here's the tape. I do have to go ahead and show off this shit anyway. Which sucks, but what can you do? I do end up skipping them a few times, like a small few times, but I feel like it's in the correct nature to actually show you this bullshit. Also to show you just how stupidly, extendedly long I'd have to sit here and watch that shit. While you get the fucking, the greatness of me skipping. Also, here's an area in the first level that I never actually went to because it was never ever used in story mode or even arcade mode. This rooftop area and this rooftop area. These have kickers, they have ramps, they have grinds and shit. They never come into play ever in the game. They're just there. There's no point to being on this rooftop. There's no point to going to that fucking rooftop on the shop there at the start. No fucking point at all. They exist, but you can just ignore them completely. It's really weird how there's just this entire area that's made for something, and it's never used. Anyway, if you decide to restart like I'm about to get these stat points done, you will get a thing called all goals completed, which means you complete all the goals in the level. See? But now I'm going to go ahead and just get the stat points out of the way. I'm going to jump cut to me taking care of the spin one. 720 is maximum on the spin. You need a 720 to actually get the last of the stats here for the spin. And when it comes right down to the score, just get the score I'm about to give to you here, and you'll make it through. About 300,000 points. There's one spin. There's two spin. And there should be free spin. There we go. That's free spin. I'm just going ahead and taking care of my own score here, because I feel like it. As you can pretty much see, the score there is completed. Yeah, that 300,000. So, with that out of the way, that's all my stat goals done for fucking arcade mode now. And now you know how to do all the spin goals, and, you know, everything is sorted out from there. But, yeah, now it's time for the next level, Barcelona. Here's the S, here's the C. He'll put the bunkers grind hop, do the trash cans, and finally, find the tape. So, yeah, as you can see, you can pretty much exclude the gap one, maybe. It's gonna be very much the same in, like, the way it's done, you know, do this trick over this gap. But everything else is pretty much, even by the goal wording, the exact same. It's just, get this score in a combo, get the skate letters, get the combo letters, find the tape, fucking not spin the trash cans, or not spin the hydrants, or the chimneys, you know, not spin this. And that's really the gist of it. There's nothing else with this. It's honestly kind of shallow how pathetic and boring arcade is. And it's gonna get worse in the next part, which is our final part, by the way. There's not that much of this. But the other thing you might be noticing is that this is a 30-minute video, which is the usual for my videos, and it just says arcade. It says arcade mode. That's because this is very short, to the point that, unlike arcade mode in Fug 2, which had a lot to it, even without remix, it was a two-parter. This is a one-parter. You can complete this in about 30 minutes. In less than 30 minutes, even. If you are actually perfect in every level, in every go, you could be done with this in about, like, 15 minutes, about. Like, this took me more like 50 minutes because of the stats, but if I cut out all that bullshit, if I cut out, you know, the shit after the first run, which is not much, I didn't do many runs in any level, really. I did about, like, at maximum 4 runs in a level. That's it. Every other fucking thing here is very small in their runs. Like, this one, I believe, is the one that has the most. But, yeah, for the most part, it's a really easy arcade mode. And if you want to go to the next level, the easiest thing to do is get the gap, or do the non-spin trash can thing, because you already know the locations of that at least, and just do the tricks, do the score, which is very easy to pull off because the scores are always easy. And by the way, we're on the highest difficulty of this fucking game, by the way. We're still on the pro difficulty, which is the hardest one you can get. This is supposed to be the harder one. So, yeah, it's not much. Let me just restart. Here we go. There you go. That's the tape. That's what I missed. And that's it. Now, I already got the level unlocked, so I can just go ahead and go straight to that. I don't have to wait around for the tape unlock thing. So that's the first step of this shit. And now, Berlin. 140,000 points is the maximum. Skate letters start there. Combo letters start here. 5-0, the gray pipe. Not spin all those hydrants, and the tape needs to be found. So, yeah, At this point, the only thing I'm actually going to really, like, bring up during this is going to be what the maximum score is from just the 6 score, because 6 score is always higher than combo, and, you know, what the gap is, what the trick is for that one goal. That's it. Every other goal I can just ignore because you're just gonna know about it anyway. It never changes. The only thing that ever changes the fucking non-spin one is what it is. And even then, you already know what it is. You've done it already. You've done it multiple times throughout the fucking game. You already know where every hydrant is, where every trash can is, where every chimney is. The game, in story mode, already made it obvious to you because it gave you goals already to do them. This is repetitive as fuck. And the thing is, unlike in, you know, normal Fuck 2, where they give you new levels, which are class levels from the old games and shit, every level in this arcade, by the way, somehow that spot when I manual over it is a fucking bail for some reason. I don't know why, but here's the thing. In this game, every level you've already done in story mode, every single one of them, including Suburbia, they're all here. And that's it. There are no other levels added into arcade mode. Every level in this game you just saw pretty much in the previous part. Skatopia was the last level in the entire game. There's not even a creative park thing or whatever in this one. It's just this. You have now seen every area in the game. So, we're going for every area again in arcade mode, doing these very basic fucking goals that, again, you're not going to spend much time on. At best, arcade mode is the biggest afterthought of the entire game, because every single fucking thing about this is just nothing. However, it's not the most time-wasteful thing in the world, because it's just 30 minutes. And it's also, you know, trying to be different. It's still different goals and such. You know, the tape's here again and all of that, you know? They brought the tape back. But there is one more part after this part, and oh god, I'm not gonna be a fan of it. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the weird thing about all of this. You obviously know that considering all the scares beforehand, before me, were locked, that probably tells you that, unfortunately, we are going to have to go and, you know, oh wait, here we go. So I did all these goals, try to go to the next level. I can't. I have to wait until the level's over before the level actually unlocks. So I have to wait for this shit to happen, and now I can go. Now I can leave and go to the next level. I had to wait another fucking minute for this to go by, so that I can actually go to the next level. That's another shit thing about arcade mode. I'm not a fan of arcade mode at all, really. I find it to be just a waste of time and a pile of fuck. But, yeah, it really is a waste of time, especially when you find out about the iffy thing with arcade mode when it comes to its so unlockable at the end. And you obviously noticed that because the other skaters are locked, except for me, that we're probably going to have to go through and do all this shit again with different skaters. And you know what? That was the thing in the GBA games. That was the thing in the Pro Skater games, you know? The fucking individual progression shit. That wasn't anything new. We did that beforehand, and we hated it. I hated it so fucking much. But it was a thing. And it's apparently a thing in 1+2, but I'll get to that when I get to that. Because it's a lot more complicated and a lot more problematic, and I've heard good things at 1+2. I want to keep my head up high. I'm not looking forward to the fucking skater progression shit again in 1+2, okay? I'm not looking forward to it. They even changed it up. But the way they changed it up, believe it or not, it's gonna make the checklist shit, the gap checklist thing in 1+2, is gonna be super fucking complicated for me to pull off. Because I'm not gonna spoil it yet. You probably already found out about it yourself. I'm not gonna bring it up yet until I get to that fucking game. I don't know if it's gonna be after GBA here. I haven't got the game yet physically. I'm still waiting for that to come in. But, oh man, when we get to it, when we fucking get to it, I'm not looking forward to it, alright? I'm really not. I don't think it's gonna be that bad a game, but at the same time, I'm not looking to 100%ing it, alright? It's gonna be a nightmare. But anyway, the thing about this is that this is a really shitty thing with arcade and what we're going to be unlocking, which is obviously going to be a cheat code. You know, we got cheats before in this sort of thing before with the GBA games. Nothing new really there. But then there's the question of how to get the skaters. We already did story mode. We can't get the skaters from that. So what else are we missing? You probably already figured it out by now. But yes, the fucking minigames are the reason. For some fucking reason, Vicarious Visions, back in the day before 1+2, when they were making these ports, decided, you know what? Let's let the player unlock shit with the minigames you've added in, even if they absolutely find them shit. And big shock, everyone found them shit. Everyone hated the minigames in this fucking game. No one liked doing the fucking minigames. I didn't like doing it. I especially hated the tennis ball one. But then they decided that you have to do them now in order to get unlockables here. Do you want to make your own graffiti? You gotta do a minigame. Do you want to unlock skaters? Gotta do a minigame. Do you want to unlock cheats? Gotta do a minigame. All you get from doing arcade is a cheat. You also get the same exact cheats from doing the minigame. Do you see the issue here? Especially since the minigame in question is like the easiest one in the fucking game. I don't even need to explain what it is. You already should know about Rocket Air the Tiny Transfer. But oh yeah, and I hate to blunt slide the other thing back in Australia. But God, you already know what the problem is. You already know what the minigame is. When I say it's the easiest one, you already know because I made it very fucking obvious which one's the easiest one for me, considering how I've talked about it before. So, what the fuck's the point of doing the arcade mode then? I mean, yeah, I'm doing it for completion's sake, because they are different goals and shit. You know, we always gotta go through the arcade shit. We always gotta go through the classic mode stuff. So I'm obviously doing it for the fucking 100% completion's sake. With my fucking skater at least. But what's the point of doing it for the player? Just going through and doing all the bullshit anyway. If a minigame does the exact same thing, and it's much quicker and shorter than doing arcade mode, you could just skip arcade mode entirely. And you can. You actually can skip arcade mode entirely. Wait. It's really fucking dumb. It's super fucking dumb. I don't fucking get what Vicarious Visions were thinking when they did this. I really don't. I find this to be the most nonsensical fucking thing they've done with any of these Tony Hawk GBA games. I don't know what the fuck happened to Vicarious Visions during the FUG period, but they really dropped the fucking ball. They were doing good with the Pro Skater games, but then they made FUG 1 with the broken gaps and the fucking awkward-ass goddamn story and shit, and the gameplay. The gameplay wasn't very good either. And now here we are at FUG 2, where the gameplay is a little bit better, but at the same time, it's like everything's half-assed. And then they added these minigames. And these minigames are the worst part about this fucking game. What am I grinding on if I'm missing the bee? The bee's on the ramp. How'd I fucking miss that? Oh, was I not in the air? That's another thing, by the way. This game has a really bad fucking thing with the hit detection of the combo letters and the skate letters. Like, you might have noticed it. You should have noticed it at times. But there were moments where the letters and shit were not even that far up above the ground, but the game forced you to jump for them. It was stupid. It was so fucking stupid. But the game did it. And here comes skate letters. You know, got the S, got the K. A's right over there by the ramp. You already saw me get when I did the rocket air. The T's on the other side of this ramp, and the E's on that grind down below. So all the skate letters are at least compacted into the backyard area. And the last thing I have to worry about is the score, which I pull off by going over here and using this bowl. The only thing I didn't have to Nana spin was the barbecue there, which is the only fucking Nana spin spot that you ever have in this game that is not a hydrant, a trash can, or chimney, and it's not connected to a goal, it's just a gap. That's the only Nana spin gap that is not the fucking, you know, generic ones that the game tells you to go for. I don't know why. I don't know why they did a lot of this game. I don't know what the fuck was going on with this game. But quite frankly, I find it to be stupid. I find it to be super fucking stupid, and I'm not a fan of it. This is why this game is not going to get any higher above fucking, you know, Pro Skater 4, 3, or 2 in GBA, because those games are still better than this game. And I got New Orleans, 350,000 points. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, 400,000 points. And then we have Nose Blunt Slide, that track. Uh-huh. It's... Just why? Just why the fuck did the game have to, you know, go this way? And why did it have to get so fucking broken at the end for me? Why did that have to happen? I hope that's an emulator bug, because if somebody finds out that, yes, this is actually in the game, it's an actual problem in the fucking game. Whew. But even then, this shouldn't be happening, you know? Because that's really fucking weird, how it's always locking shit off after only 10 goals being done. Like, if it was an emulator glitch, it would only happen at least once or something like that, right? It wouldn't be doing this shit. But it's like it's coded in, it's like it's programmed in to lock up every other goal after the fucking first 10. That makes no sense. How can you bug that? I mean, having a broken goal, or no goals working or whatever, in a glitch for an emulator, that I can understand. But having it stop working after a set number of goals, that doesn't scream an emulator glitch to me. Again, if anybody knows what the fuck's going on with that, please let me know. Anyway, here's the tape. I mean, you would have obviously fired me up the rooftops, honestly. And now we are going to begin, essentially, just taking care of the shit, which I'm going to start off the skate letters, and then I'm going to take care of the score. And after this, all we have left is Skatopia. Have you noticed that we're only 26 minutes in, and we're nearly done with arcade mode now? Like, do you kind of see how, like, the newer levels and shit in, you know, classic mode of Fug 2, with the gaps involved, really extended the fuck out of classic mode? Whereas arcade mode here is all the shit you've already done, and only that, and it's like 30 minutes long. It really changed the perspective on how this shit works. So yeah. What the fuck else can I really say here? I mean, I also wish I got 1 million points in the end of classic mode, the last one at Skatopia. I wish I did. But again, I'm sorry I didn't get 1 million points in the recordings. But yeah. This was honestly the most pathetic fucking thing in the world to me. How in the living shit did this happen with this game? I don't know. I don't know how Vicarious Visions fucked this up. But they fucking did. And in all honesty, I can pretty much give my verdict right now on this game. But I'm going to wait until next part to give my verdict. And for good reason. By the way, Airwalk the Big Drop. That's about the last one I have to, you know, bring up. But, yeah, like, there's a reason why I'm going to only bring up my opinion on this game on the last part, because it's the minigame part. And you already know what minigame we're going to be ending up going through again. But you don't know how long we're going to be of that minigame this time. I mean, you already had a good taste of it, right? Like 20 fucking rounds. That's not the longest. That's not the longest. It gets worse. But right now, let's just fucking get this out of the way first. Alright? Let's get arcade mode out of the way first. And this is the last level. That means that after this, we're going to see what the game gives us for doing it with one skater. But what I saw from a guide, doing different skaters gives you different cheats. And did some testing that is actually true. You do end up different cheats when you do different skaters. Unless you do it the way I did when I recorded this whole thing. You see, if you're the minigame and you just unlock all the skaters, then you go do the cheat one. Then you're pretty much, you know, gonna unlock every cheat. And at that point, arcade mode then essentially gets stuck on stud mode unlocking. Which, by the way, that's our first cheat, stud mode. You all know what stud mode is. I don't have to explain what stud mode is. We've seen it so many times now that it's obvious what the fuck stud mode is. Anyway, here's the Kamala. But just Kamala is very fucking awkward and terrible, and I hate it. But, yeah, like, jeez. I'm not gonna be happy when I go through the minigames next part, in our final part of this Let's Play. I mean, I tried to be nice to this game. You know, I had some nice things to say about this game. It did have some positives to it. For one thing, it's not fucking broken on its gaps, and it is possible to 100% it. I fucking did. It's just, I don't know if there's an actual ending to story mode or not, because the game bugged on Skatopia's goals. But outside of that, I did 100% everything. I did every goal. I got all the gaps. I did all the shit. And at the end of this video, with this fucking last thing to do here, I did everything in arcade mode as well. So all I have left is the minigames, and I do them all in the next and final part. But even though it's functional to an extent, do I actually find this better than Fug 1? Well, I will let you know in the next and final part, because right now I have done everything in arcade mode finally, and we're about to see the unlock thing for getting this shit done. After we wait here and watch this shit for a good minute. I wish I could skip this shit. New cheat. Stud mode. And there you go, that's all you get. I mean, again, it's not a big surprise. But yeah. Next time, we're doing the minigames. Because the minigames will let us unlock the rest of this. Will get us our skaters. And will do, pretty much, give us the graffiti mode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.